Okay, so we have the live stream set up right now, and we are just waiting for people to kind of like trickle in for the live stream for the Go 7 unboxing. But we do have the active stylus here, so we're gonna go ahead and open the active stylus box, and then we'll do that while we wait for the live stream to catch up. All right, so it looks like we have here product features. This is a USI stylus right here, USI 2.0 stylus right here, and the specs are as such. Let's see what we got here. We got aluminum alloy pen body, support perfect palm rejection. I don't know what that means. Open to use, no need to connect, so it's probably just connects automatically. It has tilt, supports tilt functionality, and has 4,900 or 4,096 levels of point pressure sensitivity. We've got a soft fiber tip on the back of the active stylus here. We have USB-C charger as well, built-in battery. It has a indicator light on the pen. Now it has two buttons here. Now I thought those two buttons were functional buttons, as like buttons you could use to erase or select things. But it's not two buttons. There's only one button for erase, and the other button is a power button. And the tip is made of a palm material, so similar to what we get in the Lamy pens when you get a nib on those. But this is cone shaped, and from what I understand from the Discord, shout out to the people in Discord, She Inc. And Jay really like spearheading this whole trying to figure out what stylus works with what device. So on the Discord, we've kind of like purchased a bunch of not nibs, but a bunch of stylus to see if they work on the individual active stylus devices that are coming out now from Remarkable and from Onyx. So yeah, we're going to compile a list and have that in the Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord, down in the description there's a link. Join the Discord, continue this conversation after the video. We're in there talking e-ink all day every day, and tech all day every day, 3D printing, all kinds of stuff. So I mean, lately we've been talking a lot about Star Wars too, so you never know what you're going to get in there, but you're definitely going to get e-ink discussions no matter what. So we're compiling a list in the Discord of what styluses or styli work with what devices that are USI 2.0 supported devices. 1.0 has weird functionality and compatibility issues, so we're going to just stick to 2.0 for this particular list, but it's going to be great. So let's go ahead and unbox this stylus right here. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so right off the top, I'm liking this particular pen. It has this fiber thing on the back. It feels really good. I'm not sure if it's as good as the Remarkable Paper Pro stylus, where they have a eraser on the back of their Pro stylus for their Remarkable Paper Pro. It feels like an eraser. Actually, I'm sorry, it doesn't. That's the Remarkable 2. If you get the Pro pen for the Remarkable 2, the back of that particular pen feels like an eraser, and I love it. They should have done that with the Remarkable Paper Pro pen, but they did not. Yeah, so I'm really excited about trying this particular thing out to see if it feels like the Remarkable 2's pen, which feels awesome, by the way. This is looking really good, though. I'm really liking this pen. I like the way that it feels. It's aluminum alloy, so it's a substantial feeling pen. I like that. The tip is kind of, I don't know if you can see that. Can we? Yeah, it's kind of, the tip is weird. I'm not going to hold you. The tip is a little bit weird. Can we pull it out? It feels also weird to pull out. I'm not sure if we can pull it all the way out. Oh, we can. Okay. So it looks like the nib is just a metal post here. It's a metal post with the cone on there. The buttons feel good. They feel really nice. They don't feel like cheap at all. They feel really nice. The actuations are really precise. The button doesn't move or rattle any at all. It feels really good. A lot of these pens that are USI that have the batteries in them, Wacom doesn't need batteries, so you won't see this in Wacom technology, but the batteries that are in here require charging, and this particular pen, it doesn't charge wirelessly, so you have to plug it up to a USB-C cable and plug that into a adapter to charge it. But I don't like that, but it's better than having that thing on the back. I don't like that. So at least if it's on the side, you can kind of sit it beside something. If it's on the back, it's just like hanging. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I do like this though. It looks like the power is already on. If we can we see the green light there? Looks like the power is already on there. So yeah, this should be ready to go. I like the way this feels. I mean, it is just a cylindrical tube, no ergonomics at all. Are the buttons in the way? No, the buttons aren't in the way. That's a good distance away. Some good travel on if you're writing with this, and it's a bit of a travel to the button, which I like that. I don't like the button too close to where I'm writing. It's accidental presses happen when you have it like that. So I like this. Cable, cheap. You know what I will do. This pin is perfect for the cable that comes with the Supernote devices because it's an angled cable. So I'll be probably using that angled cable because that's gonna work way better than this crap right here. So we're gonna put this in here and never look at it again. And then we got some extra nibs here in the package as well. So you get 3 extra ones for when this one undoubtedly wears down. Let's take a look at the compatibility. So for compatibility, and that's one of the big things about USI, which is one of the reasons I have this. I'm really just trying to get a handle on how e-ink companies are using the technology. Are they living up to the standards set by the consortium that makes up USI 2.0, makes up the USI 2.0 standard? Because they want these things to be cheap. The president has gone on record as saying these devices, as far as the Stylus go for USI 2.0, should be around the $20 mark. This one was $60, so just give you an idea of what they're costing above and beyond what the suggested price for this technology is. So they're trying to keep the cost down with USI. So one of the big things, one of the pillars that they pride themselves on is cost. They're trying to keep the cost down. Interoperability. Compatibility with multiple USI devices is another thing that they're staking their claim on, as far as how these things are better above and beyond Wacom, which I don't think the interoperability should be a staple of USI, because it's hit or miss whether these things work on whatever USI device you have. I'm going to try this on the Remarkable Paper Pro in a second to see if it works on that. I'm not hopeful. But Wacom is total interoperability. If it's a Wacom tablet, every Wacom pen will work on it. That's just what it is, no matter what spec the standard is on at that particular time. If it's Wacom, it will work. USI, iffy. So the cost isn't there. The interoperability of USI isn't there. The quality, though, is the last thing they pride themselves on. So cost, interoperability, and quality. So we're going to test the quality, the line quality that this thing produces on tablets here in a minute as well. But those are the things that they're really big on at USI. Those are the selling points, mind you, for USI. But yeah, we're going to test those out. Let's go ahead and try, since we got a few minutes left, let's go ahead and try this on the Remarkable Paper Pro. So for the Remarkable Paper Pro, this thing actually does work. There is, I see it already, there is a delay in when I write and when it shows up, just so you can see. You see what I'm saying? So there's a bit of delay on that. Now, what about the line quality? I don't mind that. The line quality is really good, as far as the latency ain't good, but as far as the line quality goes, being a straight line, I think that's good. We are on the pressure sensitive pen. Let's take this off. Let's give it a more consistent pen there. All right, yeah. Line quality seems to be good. All right, so that's just testing the line quality of this particular USI pen. It does work on the Remarkable Paper Pro. I'll link this particular pen in the description if you want to check it out. It feels really good, though. Let's check out the eraser part. So the erase functionality of this pen doesn't work. So as you can see here, the eraser doesn't work. So we can't erase any of these things here. Oh, you know what? This pen actually draws a straighter line than the Remarkable Paper Pro pen. Like, I'm just drawing lines right here, and you can see the squiggliness of that line. This seems like a, well, the line is darker, so maybe that's not. So they're both as wiggly. The Remarkable Paper Pro pen seems to draw a little bit lighter than this particular Stylus right here, but they're both USI 2.0. They both seem to work on the Remarkable Paper Pro. Though, like I said, there's a little bit of lag. With the Remarkable Paper Pro pen, there's no lag in the writing experience. When we go to this particular pen, you can see that there's a lag from when it picks up the input, right? Like I'm hitting right here, but it's not registering it to right there. So there's a gap in between when it registers. And the latency is not bad. So interoperability is taking a hit. This particular stylus is more laggy on the input, and the eraser doesn't work. But as far as the line quality goes, it's on par with the Remarkable Paper Pro pen. And maybe a little bit better because this draws a little bit of a thicker line than the Remarkable Paper Pro pen does.